It is day 411 of Israel's war on Gaza. And for a second day in a row, Israeli forces shell Kamal Adwan Hospital, the only health facility still operational in northern Gaza. Its director general says at least 85 patients are inside. Most of them are women and children. Meanwhile, Israel continues to target residential buildings. The latest attack happened in the neighborhood of Zeitoun. Since dawn, at least 24 Palestinians have been killed across the Gaza Strip, but that number is only expected to rise as more injured are taken to overburdened hospitals. Al Jazeera's Hind Khoudary joins us from outside Al-Aqsa Hospital in Deir, el-Balah. So we laid out some of the events that have occurred across the Gaza Strip since the beginning of the day. Hind, what's on your radar? What are you covering?
Well, let's start with Kamal Adwan, where the Israeli forces targeted the vicinity of the hospital again. And this has been happening for the past week, where the Israeli forces have been shelling the rooftop, the courtyard, the gates of Kamal Adwan. And let me remind you that Kamal Adwan is not only struggling from airstrikes, but only the lack of medicine and medical supplies are also affecting the hospital in a very bad way, where it's not only the fact that the hospital is not facilitating but also there has been no ambulances or civil defense teams working in that area, but also 3 Palestinians have been killed as the Israeli forces also shelled one of the schools in Beit Lahia. It's Auni al-Hirtani school, and this school is one of the schools that is displacing where thousands of Palestinians have been displaced and seeking refuge in that area. But it's not only Kamal Adwan that has been targeted, also Al-Aqsa Hospital in Zeitoun, where the Israeli drone also targeted the courtyard of the hospital. We also received one of the families here in Al-Aqsa Hospital who made it all the way from Beit Lahia on their foot. These people, we talked to them and they told us that they resisted more than 40 days without food, without water, without medicine, but they said that the amount of airstrikes and shelling was unbelievable. They literally escaped death and also the hunger and starvation that has been imposed on them. They came, they were drained, they were exhausted, and the mother said that all that she wanted is to see her children in front of her and not losing any of her family members. It was a very tough journey all the way from Beit Lahia to Deir el-Balah. They crossed an Israeli checkpoint and they said that the Israeli forces interrogated them for hours because they did not have any ideas. But it's normal. For more than a year, Palestinians have been displaced for more than one time. They have been displaced in multiple areas. They're losing everything they have. This family that came here today came with only a couple of backpacks on their backs, and this is all of what they could get out of their lives, out of their memories and their houses too. This is one of the families that made it. Other families were targeted on their way after the Israeli forces ordered them to evacuate Beit Lahia and northern Gaza Strip. So the situation is beyond what anyone could imagine. We're talking about forced displacement, mass killing, and also forced starvation, where Palestinians are unable to find a loaf of bread today in the southern Gaza Strip and the central area. And if you find this loaf of bread, you won't be able to even buy it because everything is very expensive. Also, the lack of medicine, the lack of food, the lack of food assistance, everything is collapsing across the Gaza Strip, Sohail.
Hind Khoudary reporting from inside the Gaza Strip. Thank you very much to you and your team for your reporting, Hind.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.